Another night of DNQ racing is upon us, and tonight the track is prepped on the high side. The Markhams are here and ready to rock, and it is Ghostface Brewing night, as a brief rain shower is going across the racetrack. But let's go down and talk to Christian Moody, who is down with it.
Well, a brief shower is blowing through the racetrack, and we're in Christian Moody's trailer / motorhome. Christian, this whole deal, all this stuff that's been going on has been pretty crazy for everybody, but it's actually helped you out with your personal racing because you're not in college right now.
Yeah, well, I figured with everything going on, I could bolt on a Predator and lose all my money somehow.
You obviously have not gotten a haircut either during this whole event. So, you had a good World 100. It wasn't bad last week, and you got turned towards the end. You got backed in the fence a little bit, but it was a normal day for you.
Yeah, well, it kind of sucks because it was 2 laps to go and I was leading, and then by lap 99 I was in 5th, and lap 100 I was in 11th. So not really the finish that I wanted, but kind of the one that I got.
Yeah, how was that race from the driver's seat? Did it wear you out? Was there strategy that played into it at all, or do you feel like, what would you do differently when we're running next year?
Just not get left reared. I didn't get tired at all. These things don't generate that much G-force since you're going so slow to the corner, but I mean, it was just a momentum race, and as long as you could stay in it and stay on the person's rear bumper and not left rear anyone or shit can anyone, you could get to the front pretty much.
Now, you've won at every track we've been to in DNQ, and that's nobody, I believe, has done that yet. So running the Predator stuff and coming out here messing around in DNQ, you got a little bit of a legacy, and you and Jason Denny raced real hard back in the day, but what's it like to come back to this series?
It's extremely fun coming back, especially with these things. I've never really raced against this many people, and because I mean, you can basically be a shitbox out there and still competitive. Anyone will come to it. So, I mean, it's proved a lot of challenges, and it's just real fun, honestly.
Christian Moody won at every track we've ever run at DNQ. He has won a lot of DNQ races as well. Look for him tonight to be a factor. Yep.
Well, our last race was the World 100, and Ronnie Carroll got dumped by James Stanley Jr.
Ronnie Carroll's got a good right hook, too. He's not the guy I kind of want to mess with as we're watching the replay here, going into the back straightaway because he's Stanley down on the inside. Left rear is Carroll. Woo.
Absolutely taken out. James Stanley is a veteran. He should know better. He's got plenty of wins here at Millbridge. He doesn't need to dump Carroll for that 3rd spot.
Well, the World 100 was a very exciting race. And for Ronnie Carroll, there was a lot of excitement from your seat. I got to bug up my nose. Sorry. You were about up to 5th, and it looks like you and James Stanley got into it at the end of that race. Can you explain from your standpoint what happened?
Right. It's kind of hard to teach talent. I mean, you run out of talent, that's what happens. Happens with him on a constant basis, but I'll still buy parts from him. He's a pretty good parts guy. So that's about it.
So we're out here today. You're running like 3 features tonight. Yeah. It's your first time running a Cup kart, and it's for Mickey Roop. It's his stuff, his equipment. You're helping him out, just like you're helping out Daniel Armstrong and a couple other guys. Have you ever driven anything as far as this package is concerned?
Never. It's going to be a learning curve. Got that cart this morning. We threw weight on it. Hasn't even been on the scale, so it's going to be a hit or miss type deal. So we're going to try it out, see what happens.
You've been very strong in the ARCA series and Busch series as well. Your stuff's really good. What is it? How hard is it on a consistent basis to run very well in both of those series?
I mean, it takes a lot of seat time. When I first started, we wasn't that great, but like I said, we travel, we go to other tracks, put in seat time, and I think for me, a lot of the bigger tracks we go to really help out on the smaller tracks. Just consistency, tires. You know, get a good tire guy, get a good tire program, stick on something, and I think that helps more than anything.
Ronnie Carroll, ARCA points leader, looking to help out some of his buddies here today as well.
Well, David Crops is doing it on his own, and he has been able to make every A main that we've run here at Millbridge Speedway.
And let's not forget, we've got classes specifically for drivers like Mr. Crops here, newcomers, fresh faces in the sport.
He's really pulling from the Richard Petty Motorsports book. When he comes here to Millbridge, he's a one-car team, small guy doing it all on his own, really fighting above his weight.
Well, it's hard to make the show in the Ghostface Brewing Cup Series, but that's exactly what David Crops did last week. David, we were so impressed with the fact, number one, that you made the show, and earlier this year you had an outside pole for the Miltona race, and you're a one-man band. Pretty much you do everything on this card. So What has been the proof of your success? I mean, how have you been so successful this year already to start off?
Well, first off, I think it's the tires. Tires are a huge difference. New to go-kart racing, so I really have no clue what I'm doing out here, and that's just one element that's taken out of it. So, you know, this year I come in with a lot of confidence just because, you know, I'm not having to deal with the tires. You know, it's baseline, you got what you got, and I really feel like that's even the playing field out here.
Yeah, it's tough. We got a lot of really talented guys racing this Cup Series. Like guys that run sprint cars, guys that run dirt modifieds, IMCA modifieds, and you're out here doing it by yourself. I'm fully impressed because I've tried to do it this way and I was not very good. So, I mean, how do you come to the racetrack and prepare each week? I mean, what has changed over the last couple weeks?
Well, I did come out here, you know, during the shutdown. I come up here and tested. I was by myself, and I come up here and really, after I got the cart where it was handling it the way I liked it, I practiced restarts. You know, I felt like that was one of my weaknesses. You know, when I started on the outside pole, I didn't know where I needed to start and, you know, how far I could drive it into the corner. So I practiced that for about an hour, just restarting on the top and the bottom. And, you know, I really feel like that made me better on the starts. And, you know, just making laps. You know, that's the main thing I want to do. You know, I'd like to thank my sponsors, you know, Support 43. They got together and, you know, made it a whole lot easier for me to come out here and race, you know, because I am doing it out of my pocket. And, you know, I'd like to thank them for helping out.
You always have to get better in motorsports. David Crops is getting a lot better very quickly. This one-man show could be somebody to watch by the end of the year.
Well, guys, let's take some time to look at the DNQ cutaway kart. And today we want to highlight on a very specific adjustment that some of these drivers may be messing with tonight, and that is caster, JZ.
Yeah, Bob, for dirt drivers, caster is mostly a set it and forget it kind of adjustment. But don't underestimate what it can do for the handling and drivability of your go-kart. You can add caster, take away caster to change the feel in the wheel and give your driver the preference he needs to get to the front.
That might be an adjustment that these drivers use tonight to take advantage of the track conditions.
Well, some drivers make the drive from Mooresville to the Millbridge Speedway, which is about a half-hour drive. But Mike Perks, you make about a 5.5-hour drive to come run DNQ at Millbridge. The way the situations are, it's actually worked out in your favor for getting to some of these races, but explain what it's like to drive that far and come race here in DNQ, and why do you drive that far to come race?
I just like to race. So in Virginia, everything is shut down now. So tomorrow I'm actually racing in West Virginia. So I just go all over just to have fun.
Now DNQ caught your eye, I guess, because of the videos on YouTube and stuff like that, but this is a different style of racing, probably than you race anywhere else, correct?
Not necessarily. I race Predator everywhere and all. So I don't really change anything to come here and race. It's the same tires, everything. I just load up and go.
So it's crazy. I mean, we all enjoy racing. That's why we're here and doing it. But, like, to drive the amount that you drive and race as much as you race, do you feel like you keep getting better and better the more you run?
Yeah. I mean, you learn tire preps. You learn engines, chains, gearing. Here it's a lot easier. Like, I just threw everything out of the trailer in the truck last night and came down when I found out that it was today instead of yesterday. Yesterday I wouldn't have been able to make it. So I just like it because it's fun. Everybody's on the same playing field, and it's driver. You know, the carts, the engines, the gearing is all the same.
They've had a pretty good season in the ARCA division, and you've done very well. I mean, you're up towards the top in the points. You know, last week was a tough race to make. I'll agree with that. But
last week, I think I had a shot at it, but the wreck coming out on the last lap, I kind of had to swerve and miss people, and then that just lost all my momentum. So we got out of here a little early and made the trip all the way over to Sellers, South Carolina. So it was a long weekend last weekend too.
Just like old school racing, Mike Perks is getting it done. Not only traveling, but he definitely has a passion for racing. He's doing very well in DNQ.
Well, Filthy Mechanic Clothing is the official clothing company of the DNQ karting series. They're at every event. Stop by and see Michael Too Tall Medill, the CEO and owner, to buy some of their merchandise. We'll be right back after this message.
Hey guys, as you know, from time to time, we believe in shaking things up, making changes in the organization. For that reason, we decided to change my car's number from 8 to 6.7. I'm just messing with you. We're gonna stick with 8. Just a joke. No harm done, huh?
Let's take a look at the Filthy Mechanic Clothing starting lineup.
Starting on the front row, 92 Craig Smith, followed by the Red Rocket Eric Riggins.
We got Scott Zarowski and Zach Stroop on the second row.
Ray Feast and Robert Rainman Showalter in the next row.
Row number 5, Nick Fenley and Magic Mike Melton.
Jonathan Mabe in the 11 and Tyler Richmond on the outside of him.
Dan Marak and David Backmarkham is in our next row.
Fuck, that was good. Jen Welsh and Adam Welsh.
Zach Campanola and Brian Shaw in the next row.
Donald Dernier Colwell and Mike Contarino will round out the field for tonight. Here is the information for the Filthy Mechanic Clothing Pro Cup for you at home. These guys run on the Treaded Hoosiers, and that has been a show lately. And we have a Filthy Mechanic on board with Mike Contarino. He will give us all the great action from the cockpit tonight at this Millbridge Speedway. Man, I'll tell you, we've had some good races here in the Filthy Mechanic Clothing Company Pro Cup Series, but this high side night ought to be a pretty good one as the green flag is out and we are underway, and the pole sitter took the top side.
Yeah, Bob, maybe Filthy Mechanic Apparel can make Mike Contarino some gloves.
Very old school. I'm half expecting him to light up a cigarette underneath the first caution here. Old Dick Trickle styles. We're piling off the high side, off of turn 4, completing the first lap.
It is high side night tonight for the Ghostface Brewing night in general. That means the bottom of the racetrack is extremely wet and the top is worked in, and that's what you're seeing here tonight. We've got a human centipede at the top of the racetrack as Riggins is up there running the cushion.
Yeah, he's up there selling T-shirts, Bob. I like this. But this is reminded me of the Lady in Black as you see somebody down there getting in the wet stuff underneath.
The track's coming in really nice. You can already see that pink magic dark prep groove coming in along the top as these drivers make their way around the high sides of 1 and 2 and power down the backstretch. A little bit single file now, but once that track works itself in, I think the racing action will pick up.
And you know what? I love watching this high side line. It seems like it's very one groove, but if you get a run on somebody, you may get to the bottom and try to slide up on them, and I'm sure we'll see that multiple times here tonight.
Yeah, Bob, you told me how wet it was down there in the bottom. Some of these guys, they don't know what to do with that. They're just feeling around, searching for a hole.
A gentle rap, tap, tap on the back door as they try to make their way through. Hands up, someone goes around down in the bottom slot.
Scott Zarowski goes for a spin after Craig Crossthread Smith had a problem there coming off of turn 4. Let's take a look at it again.
Yep. Hands are up. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And just nose to tail.
Yeah, nowhere to go on that. And, okay, so now Riggins takes the bottom on this restart. And we'll see if that works out for him. I don't know if he saw something that would work as the green flag is out. He gets to jump. Can Rainman Showalter take a run at him from the top side?
Yeah, he's going to need a big push, but Riggins made it work. He knows what he's doing here. He's just got to protect the bottom. I think what he did was line up in front of a teammate there, so he got a big push from the bottom.
Oh, we got a spin down the front stretch. Jonathan Mabe is around in that Mountain Dew machine. He's going to keep it rolling. The caution is out. Looks like he got into it with Adam Welsh. Ooh, here we go. Green flag. We're back underway. Mr. May, Mike Melton on the bottom here. The outside is Riggins. Can he slide job him up and take the lead away as they head down into 1?
Magic Mike Melton gives him a bump. Here comes Riggins on the top. Big case of the runs there with an assist from Rainman, it looks like.
The bottom just isn't there yet. The guys that get to the top quickly seem to be making their way towards the front and checking out. Though we do have a good race for the lead right now, nose to tail.
Yeah, you can see that lighter line down there is extremely wet, and the black line up top, that ultra black groove, starting to come in extremely hard. So right where that color change is, you don't want to get any lower than that.
Yeah, we see the 5 of Rainman putting some pressure on the leader. Now, Bob, this is a long race. Is he just riding there trying to save some fuel, save his tires, and get ready for a big run at the end?
I mean, he's got to figure out something, a way to pass as Jay Sarpara is trying to go to the bottom to slide job Magic, but I don't know, man. Jay-Z, what do you think? I mean, you're out here looking at track conditions. How do you feel they're going to be able to make a pass here tonight?
Well, I think a lot of it's going to come down to how your setup works in towards the track towards the end of the race. So these treaded tires, you're not prepping, so you don't have an advantage in tires over somebody else. You you got to set your whole cart up for the top or the wet, slippery bottom. So we'll see as the race unfolds. Riggins is checking out, though. I don't think anyone has anything for him tonight.
What I want to touch on is Chase Elliott. He's not even in this race, but I don't really care. He's just really impressed me this year.
Well, I got to tell you, somebody that's impressing me right now is Zach Stroop. His brother Nick races quite a bit, but he is out here running third right now. And him and his brother both love the high side line. He's in that red 44 up there. But nobody has anything for Eric Riggins, who is just absolutely painting the top of this racetrack.
Knocking down the board, selling T-shirts. My man Jack Hewitt taught me that.
Whoa, Tyler
Oh,
Richmond.
goddamn, no, that's not how you do it. Jack
Oh,
Hewitt
no.
did not teach him that.
Tyler Richmond was avoiding a slide job, got up in the mud, and the caution is out, and the nose is blown off of that thing. Wow.
Not good for Arrow.
No. Here we go, going back under green. Ray Thies on the inside of Riggins as we go green. Can Thies make the move for the lead? He's already clear. He's just got to get up.
Big slide job coming. Completely fucked it up. Has no idea what he's doing. I think that was his first front row start in his career.
He had him cleared. He could have had the lead right there, Jay-Z.
Oh, goddamn.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought Ross Chastain was in sixth place there, banging doors down the straightaway.
I just can't believe he didn't move up in the top line. He must have seen it 3-4 restarts before that. I don't know what he's thinking. He threw away the race right there.
I don't think Riggins would be able to pass him looking at how this track is here tonight, as David Backmarkham has stopped across the backstretch. But we stay green.
I think that's the best thing so far.
You got to love this Filthy Mechanic Clothing Racing, though. It's really good.
Oh, we got the yellow
Yeah,
out.
the yellow's
we got
out
someone
for-
stopped in the...
Yeah, Markham still stopped at the backstretch. We're going to throw the caution for him now so he can get off the racetrack. Tough break for David Markham.
Yeah. Everybody likes to play in the mud every now and then.
Green flag, we're back underway. We had 3 attempts at double file restarts. We go single file. Jay Sarapara's got the run. I mean, did Showalter up? Adam Welsh is around. Not a surprise. He had a meltdown. Are we seeing guys touching the back of their helmets as these guys are just pushing the shit out of each other to get runs? You know, like we see guys push them on restarts and stuff. I think that's what's happening with Showalter and Riggins.
Yeah, these guys running the top, they get those carts wound out, and the only way to make more speed is to link up bumper to bumper and draft towards the front.
How about...
Yeah, touching the back of your helmet. That's the universal symbol for I got a case of the runs.
And Scott Zarowski is already up to fourth as we're watching Riggins, Showalter, and Zapara race for the top 3 here.
Yeah, they're all lined up. And what I want to point out right now, Jay-Z, is the leaders are coming up on lap traffic. They're going to have to watch out. Adam, the good kitty Welsh, is just right in the middle of the way. He puts his hands up, go on by as he races the preferred line, and then comes back.
And you're a huge dick if you try to pass the leader, but he had better judgment, backed off him, and pulled to the inside of the racetrack. He had no shot, but you're right, Bill. When you run your lap traffic on a single groove racetrack like this, it can be holy hell. It could cost you the race.
Look at that, Scotty Z in the backside here running 5th, trying to make the move on Zach Stroop. And, we've got a huge wreck on the backstretch.
Gosh. We got one upside down, red.
Campolonia goes for the spin. Shaw is upside down on Contarino, just trying to help him get out of the cart. All the drivers...
Looks like they're trying to spoon, maybe? Kind of hard to tell.
What a bad situation. And we're good. Let's try to see what
now
happened.
would be a good time for a pair of Filthy Mechanics gloves, don't you think?
Looks like Shaw tried to slide job Contarino, and he ended up right in his lap. I'm not going to get any more on that.
Flat ran out of talent.
There's nothing worse than trying to left rear a guy to get by him, then you end up upside down on top of him.
He put his head right in his
like
lap.
some road dome. Yeah.
Well, here's the series. We're always checking these Hoosier tires to make sure everybody's right, and there's a quick durometer check under red flag. Wow, I can't believe he ended up like his face right in his crotch area. That's pretty funny. You couldn't have scripted that. Here we go. Only a few laps left as Riggins leads the field. We take the green here for the Filthy Mechanic Pro Cup Series. Only a few laps to go.
The only move is going to be maybe for 5th place, but he pulls back in line. Everybody knows the tail nice and tidy. I would imagine it's going to be a shit show here in about 1 lap.
I got to throw props to Welsh's wife, Jen Welsh, who's running 6th right now. Good run for her as well.
Making a lot of people look stupid tonight with a lack of experience, hopping in the cart, running the high side, and putting in a good show tonight.
Yeah, maybe she likes to be on top. Let's ask the good kitty.
This track is awesome. I mean, I love watching. There you go, Scotty Z on a run with Zach Stroop here as they head down into 3 and 4.
Scotty Z to the bottom. Ooh, a little bit too loose down there for him. He gets his left side tires in the PJ1 there and about spun himself out.
You know, Bob, I'm sitting here and I can't help but wonder what kind of notes Chase Elliott's taking down tonight. He's watching this race unfold and the laps wind down. What kind of setup is he going to talk to his crew chief about putting in his race car coming up this weekend?
Yeah, I don't know, but I got to say Chase Elliott does such a good job. And, you know, if you get beat off pit road by Chase Elliott, I hope, or if you beat Chase Elliott off pit road, I hope your lug nuts are tight because, you know, you don't want a loose wheel.
Jay-Z, I see the dash flickering red on that Showalter machine. Does he have that thing taped off? Did they put some tape on the nose on that red flag?
They must have, because he had to do something to try to get by Riggins. He wanted a little more air on that nose. He wanted to get a little bit more slippery, but it's not helping. He's still falling back, and he might lose second place here momentarily.
This is a great run right here, and Riggins just walking him. I don't know if it's air pressure builds or what. I'm sure the engineers at the shop are crunching the numbers on air pressure builds, but Showalter's starting to fall back a little bit.
Riggins didn't get that nickname the Red Rocket for nothing. He's putting it out there on him tonight, boys.
If you notice and you watch his line in the middle of the corner, he's a half a card higher than everyone else. He's really tapping the edge of that cushion, trying to sell those T-shirts, as Bill so eloquently put it. And I think the rest of the guys better start taking some notes as we're at our 5-to-go caution.
Jay Zarpara tried to do the slider as we've got some weather in the area. We're going back green as Zach Stroop is on the bottom. He chose the bottom on Riggins. Green flag, we're back underway, and we saw that bottom line get the run. Can he make it happen here on this restart? He's clear.
Zach Stroop with a
He's
big
clear.
push, making moves.
He was clear. He was clear, and he let the run from Riggins get him as he slides up into 4th.
None of these guys have a sack.
They need spotters. I mean, you're allowed to have radio communications, but they choose not to, and that's twice now that somebody could have had the lead.
He would have been yelling, clear, 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 and the guys here have gotten in first place.
Yeah,
I mean, some of these guys don't matter if they got a spotter or not. I'm taking that spot. Like, you can let off.
Yeah, exactly. Even if you get hit from behind and you have a monstrous run, at least they'll propel you to the front. So right now we're watching, and in time they may get better as it's 2 to go for Riggins.
Red Rocket and Rain Man going at it. I mean, I don't see anything happening to the Red Rocket. I think he's just gonna lead the rest of these laps, and we're all gonna yawn. He's only got one more lap to go.
White flag out for Eric Riggins as the Jay Sarpara and Robert Rainman Showalter start getting to his back bumper. But coming off of turn 4, Eric Riggins going to take home his first win in the Filthy Mechanic Pro Cup Series. What a great race. I love the high side racetrack, and this is what came not long after that.
Woo! That's better than your old lady, Bob.
That's a woman when she finds out a guy vapes. Let's go down and talk to our feature winner.
Down here in Victory Lane by the Grub Hut with Eric Riggins, our winner in the Filthy Mechanic Pro Cup Series. The skies full-blown opened up after that race got done, but you got the win on the high side here tonight. It looked like it was really tough to pass, but you held up a couple of really good chances from other people trying to pass, and you come home with the win tonight.
Yeah, the top's it was really dominant there. I feel like had I got shuffled back, I could have passed. It's just, you got to have the guts to go down there and really run the bottom to slide up in front of somebody. So I'm looking forward to the cup race if we get it in to see what the bigger horsepower does with it. But it was on a roll. My motor kind of started quitting when it got hot, and I was worried on that 5-to-go restart I was going to have somebody put up a real challenge and be able to get by me. But luckily, I stayed up on the top, and it worked out for me.
We saw guys start on the bottom. It seemed like they can get in front of you, but they never slid up to get in front of you. You think somebody could have slid up and got you there?
Oh, for sure. There was a couple times I was like, well, I mean, if that had been me, I'd have pulled up. I mean, you pull up, you give somebody behind you a chance to whether hit you or cross you over. So, I mean, it's fair game when you're racing this style of race, because that's how we race in real life, you know. But it was just fun. You know me. I've been on the top here quite a bit. You know, I've been at Flat Cart Fridays, and I'll be the only one to run the top because, you know, when you're running prep tires, if you don't have the right stuff and, you know, you ain't got a chance, I just go to the top and have some fun. So I've got a lot of laps up there, but that was really fun to actually win a race up there.
Eric Riggins, your winner here tonight in the Filthy Mechanic Clothing Pro Cup Series. Robert Showalter finishes second in the Filthy Mechanic Clothing Pro Cup Series. Robert, it seemed like you couldn't really pass. If you're going to get somebody, it was on a restart, sliding up in front of the leader. But how was it there from the driver's seat?
So yeah, I think I had him probably on the restarts maybe 3 to 4 laps, and then after that he started pulling me. I think he just went out there with too low air, and he started walking me after about 4 laps and started pulling away. But yeah, I really didn't want to just try to just wing her down there in the bottom, and I was going to let probably 5 guys pass me on top, so I just stayed there and just followed him and let the guy behind me push me, and hopefully the guy behind me didn't wreck the fuck out of me. And so I was content with second. It's going to be interesting to see what's going to go on with the track now, because it just rained, and it might turn into a shit show, so you never know.
How was the passing in this at the track, how it was? It felt like it was too hard to get in there and turn down underneath somebody. I mean, I know you had some passes. You had to be a lot better than them to pass.
Right. So I guess just the momentum on top, man, just kept you going, and then you just, with these 6 horsepower motors, there's just not enough ass to pull you off the corner if you try to dive bomb someone underneath them. And then usually if you do, you slap in front of them like a dick and cause a big wreck anyways, so the best way you're going to pass is you're going to have to drive someone in deeper than they want to go until they see Jesus, and then turn left underneath them and maybe high five them on the way and keep on digging, so just hopefully they don't repay you the favor in the next corner. So,
well, if you're leading and he's behind you with the last lap, you're screwed. Second place finish tonight for Robert Showalter. Well, during this rain delay, we're going to talk to our third place finisher tonight in the Filthy Mechanic Clothing Company Pro Cup Series, JZ. JZ, good race for you. We talked to everybody else. It was hard to pass, and it seemed like if you were going to get spots, it was on the restart, starting on the bottom and sliding up. And how was it from the driver's seat for you?
It was pretty good. Yeah, it was very hard to pass. Towards the end of the race for me, once you got up there with the front guys, they made it really tough on you. And yeah, you had to choose right on the choose cone to get up towards the front, and then hopefully don't lose too many, and then find yourself a spot to get in on the top and just ride.
How was it racing this high side track tonight?
Oh, I like it. I like it. If we could figure out a way to make the kart work to where you could run a second groove and be able to pass, it'd be perfect. I get it. You're not going to be able to do that, so I like it. I like it a lot.
Third place finish here tonight for JZ in this Filthy Mechanic Clothing Company Pro Cup Series. Well, the track prep is still going on after that rainstorm that came by. They're doing a great job getting it back, and we'll be racing here shortly.
All right, this is the big moment. Okay, it's very emotional, so there could be tears. Get my good side. Junior! What's up, what's up, what's up?
Do I know you?
Dewey Ryder, guys. I'm Dewey Ryder. I know this is probably super bittersweet for you, but I brought my camera crew here in the hopes that we could capture a little passing of the torch moment here between you and I. Ooh, what's this? A blade to keep nerds from sleeping on the back of the car? Ew, gross. We're gonna have to replace these shoes stat because these things are super bald. So that's not gonna work.
Brand new, probably. This is weird.
Pink Magic ARCA Series starting lineup. Ronnie Carroll on the Tar Heel Racing Supplies pole with Randall Beck on the outside pole.
Row number 3, Dylan Teasme and Adam Wilcox.
Next row, Thomas Markham in the 15 and Nick Stroop next to him.
Zach Campolonia, who was involved in that flip earlier, and Curtis Beeson.
Row number 7, Bryson Godby and Eric Godby.
And Mike Perks, who we talked to earlier, will start in the back of the field for tonight's Pink Magic ARCA Series feature race. 390 pounds, stock Predator. You can run Hoosiers as well. Max Pink Blue Burris Gear Rule. Amateur racers. That's what these guys are. These are amateurs. Thomas Markham has the Filthy Mechanic Clothing in-cart camera for tonight's feature event. Track is definitely different. The high side is pretty much gone. We're going to see how these drivers handle this, though. Green flag is out as Ronnie Carroll will lead them to green here in Ghostface Brewing night. And these guys do not have the treaded tires, so I doubt we'll see them go way to the top.
Bob, I haven't seen anything this wet since college. I don't know how these guys are going to handle it.
Ooh.
Oh, and they are sideways.
Ronnie Carroll doing his best to put it past it. Someone else does it better.
Beeson in the wall. Zach Campolonia hits him.
That thing's killed. Look at that hit.
Thanks to the DNQ safety initiatives, with the soft noses on these carts, that kid should have broke his neck.
Yeah, little right front suspension damage. That thing will go to Troy, or they'll get it fixed up. Nick Stroop leading as the green is out. He's driving for Hunter Weaver tonight. He is a sub driver. And Ronnie Carroll, the ARCA points leader. I mean, JZ, these guys are sideways. What tire selection would you have gone with here after you saw that rain starting to come in?
Another one on the fence. Almost killed him. 2 more around. Bob, the track is treacherous right now.
It definitely is. We see these guys more sideways than they've ever been, and they need to realize they cannot run the top. Well, here we go. Going back green, and it is Nick Stroop leading this field with Randall Beck on the outside as we go green.
It does not help that these guys are 100% amateurs and have no idea what they're doing. A lot of them show up with just a truck with the go-kart in the back of it, no tools. Oh, the
And
leader
again.
all by himself jumps the cushion,
Oh, my
takes
goodness.
out the rest of the field.
Do you think these guys would realize they can't run the top right now?
No.
Do you think that's starting to set in
They
yet?
have no idea what they're doing.
Well, we're single file now as the green flag is back out. And you know what? Due to this the situation, a lot of these drivers today, they had a temperature check when they showed up to the racetrack and checkpoints.
Some of them are looking like they're racing with a fever right now, judging by how many of them are running into the wall on the first lap.
Yeah, all these motherfuckers I think had the Rona at one time, but the racing right now is all these guys. You have to race the track first of all. You can't beat yourself. You have to race the track.
No, and
yes,
and you know these guys, Bill. They don't have 15 different kinds of prep in their trailer. They don't have any of that goat or that red prep. As another one runs the fence but has managed to keep it going. So these guys are limited. They're out there on bricks right now. It's awful.
Yes, I agree. And, I got to say, it is fun to watch these guys come out here and run, but it seems like the bottom group is starting to run in. And this is the ARCA series, so this is the worst talented drivers that we have in DNQ right now.
Yeah, that was a great idea.
So this makes sense.
That was a great idea to put it out here on the hardest track.
They should get used to it. This is the new normal. So they should get used to it.
Yeah,
and
the new normal.
They're all on this together as well. They're all in the same boat, trying to make it through to the end of the race. And we're all with them. They have our support. Hopes and prayers.
The hopes and prayers. Stay safe out there when you're racing in the ARCA series. And the term ARCA brakes has become my new favorite deal. So ARCA brakes is when a wreck happens and somebody just plows into it. That's called ARCA braking, which I love.
They come from 18 car lengths back. They have a full 6 minutes to watch the wreck happen in front of them, and they still hit somebody.
Yeah. Very much like Ty Dillon's wreck at Bristol. All right, here we go. And we are still digging here. Randall Beck leading. If he wins this race, it'll be his first win. And the fact that he's leading right now, I bet he's got a semi-chub, and it's very hard to turn the wheel, as Thomas Markham is in second, also
Beck,
chubbed up.
Randall Beck is social distancing himself from the rest of the field.
It's good to see new winners. That's what this ARCA class is all about. If you feel like you don't got the experience, you got a limited budget, limited talent, you know what I mean? You only have one mask to wear to the racetrack. This is the series, this is the class for you to run. To get out there, get your feet wet, and see what you can do. And that's working out for Beck.
And I'm glad that at least one Markham is running well tonight, and that is Thomas Markham doing a great job here trying to run down our leader, Randall Beck.
We've seen Thomas Markham have spurts of brilliance before. I forget what happened. He was leading a couple weeks ago and just, lost it all by himself. Luckily, he got the wiggles out, and he can sit in that seat and feel confident. That thing's a little bit loose, but the track's nice and sloppy and wet, just like he likes it. I talked to his old lady about it. But hopefully he got all of the rookie mistakes out, and he can settle in second here and bring home a good finish for the Markham.
Once you pop that cherry, it all comes to you naturally by the time you come around the second time, So we'll see what he does here.
Curtis Beeson in third, trying to stalk down Thomas Markham, trying to make the passes. We've got some lap traffic in the way. And here comes Nick Stroop, who was leading this race, tried to run the high side, hit a big mountain of dirt, and now he's back up to fourth.
Yeah, Nick Stroop, he's got the tools to get it done. You see that unsponsored vehicle. These guys, they're just barely scraping up enough to get by. And I guess that was caution.
Yeah, it was 5 to go, and Randall Beck chose the top. So we'll see if Thomas Markham can get it done here as the green flag is out, 5 laps to go.
We thought that was stupid choosing the top, but he knew what he was doing. Gets the jump on Markham. Markham back to third. Randall Beck out to the lead again. He's just got to hold on for 4 more circuits around Millbridge.
And Randall Beck has help from Caleb Clenard, and this is definitely showing in their ARCA program right here. And Randall Beck is just digging in this ARCA feature.
And Clenard's got his tire program sorted out. His 5-star tire specialties has done really well here at Millbridge, and Beck's reaping the rewards.
Yeah, it's at least good enough to run in the ARCA series.
Nick Stroop giving the finger over there to Wilcox. He's like, what are you doing? Why are you racing me so hard? And he's going to make the pass on him here eventually. Maybe not. He's holding tough there on the high line. 2 laps to go.
Yeah, he's got to get that 4th place money, Bob.
Ghostface Brewing Night's been a good show so far. Beck's checking out a little bit, but the race for 3rd, 4th, and 5th is still really tight.
White flag out for Randall Beck, and if he doesn't hit his erection with the steering wheel here coming off a 4, he's going to win his first Pink Magic ARCA Series event. And coming off a 4, he is going to do just that. Randall Beck, congratulations.
Yeah.
Well, it's always awesome to have a first-time winner, and tonight in the Pink Magic ARCA Series, it was Randall Beck. I mean, we had that 5 to go. I didn't know what was going to happen, but your first victory, very happy for you. And I know Caleb Kennard's excited, your whole team.
Absolutely. You know, I got to thank a lot of people here. You know, Caleb, he's a tire man here. He knows all about the tires. You know, I'm new at the sport. This is my first year. I told you last year at the fairgrounds that I'm coming. I'm going to come hard. And we've been busy some other tracks and stuff. We've been real competitive. You know, I have to thank Ultimax. They give us good cars to run here. I have to thank you guys because you guys put this series on, man. And this is, you know, this is somebody wants to come out and take a $600-700 go-kart and run it and be competitive here. You know what I'm saying? So my hat's off to a lot of guys. You know, Eddie Mishu, you know, our fast-forward clutch guy. You know, we run good, you know, and we look to be a contender here. So
this people get that first win, and it's like it's game on. You know what I mean? So it's like when you win, it's game on.
We ran last weekend. We went down to PK and it was very strong. We ran, you know, it wasn't but 6 buggies, but I ran in the top 3 down there and was very strong. First buggy ride I ever had. And I told my wife, I'm hooked. You know, so we're gonna be competitive. So thank you for the DNQ series, man. We love it.
Randall Beck is hooked, and he's got his first DNQ series win here tonight. Congratulations, guys.
Nobody races in shorts.
Well, Dewey Ryder races in shorts because Dewey Ryder does not like to get super sweaty. These are ladies' stockings, but they also work as men's sleeves.
Doesn't give you a lot of fire protection.
Who's catching on fire? Not me.
Goodies Dash Series starting lineup. Magic Mike Melton on the pole with Tyler Richmond on a surprise outside pole run.
Row number 2, Adam Welsh and David Backmarkham.
Row 3, Dan Rack and Hunter Smith in the 35.
Hunter Smith filling in for Joey Gase. Ryan Richmond and Mike Contarino will be in our next row.
Row number 8, Donnie Dirty Air Colwell.
Here's the Dash Series. They run the small Hoosier all the way around. So there's 0 stagger in these things. So whatever. It's a cult following. Mike Contarino has the Filthy Mechanic in-cart camera. Still wanting some gloves. Yeah. Too tall. If you can make some gloves, that'd be great. You know, this series, a little cult following for it, and it has grown a little bit. And Adam Welsh has an in-cart camera as well. He has taken the side panel and nose off of that cart.
Yeah, that was smart.
For what reason, I have no clue.
After we saw what happened before, these guys, they're just looking to die. So they take that soft nose off. This is their way of ending it all.
They must have been watching NBC News for 3 days straight and just wanted to end it all right there on the spot.
Melton with a slow slug snail crawl to the green flag as he gets the jump, and here we go. You know, Melton's been very good in this series. He's won a race, and Joey Gase has been very good as well. Joey Gase has to run the Coke 600 tomorrow, so he decided not to run this race tonight, which is understandable.
No, it's not. I mean, this would have gave him plenty of good practice. 300 miles here tonight. I'd say go 3 wide for second place. David Backmarkham living up to his name, giving up the second spot to, I don't know who the hell is driving that with no nose, Adam Welsh, the good kitty.
Yeah, and Welsh is taken off with no arrow. So, I mean, it's got to be a head scratcher on how aerodynamically he's making it happen, as we're on board with Mike Contarino.
Sometimes it's just a visual thing where you don't have that nose cone blocking your reference points, and all of a sudden the retard leaves, and you come to the Ayrton Senna of all the drivers out there. It's crazy.
Well, Bob, I mean, sometimes you got to trim these things out. We know that. I wouldn't expect tonight to be a good night to trim out, but he's making it work.
Well, first and second have checked out, socially distancing themselves from the field, but third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth right there, all making it happen. And that's what this Goodies Dash Series is about. Short races with no stagger, so it's definitely a different package.
David Backmarkham leading that second pack. They're all lined up good now, Bob. They just got to push each other, and they might catch those top two.
Absolutely. There you see Adam Welsh, and watch, there's Melton, half a track on him already.
Jesus.
As he is smoking this field here tonight. He said he put an experimental setup in it, and he was mad how bad Joey Gase beat everybody last race, and I think he has hit on something.
You know, this setup requires something totally different as far as the way you set up the cross in the go-kart, because there's no stagger there. Your left side weight has to change. Your nose weight has to change. So he might have wholesaled the shit out of it, and it's working for him.
Jay-Z.
Look at Welsh has got a tear off on his GoPro. Look at it flap around.
Jay-Z, one time David Hyder told me to win at Myrtle Beach, you got to put reverse stagger in that thing and reverse split the truck arms. That might be what he's doing here tonight on this wet track.
Yeah, I'm sure at the end of this race, everybody's going to try to see where that track bar is at by the time the race is over.
Yeah.
Man, this is exciting. Melton is just putting an ass-kicking to everyone here tonight in the Goodies Dash Series. And he became Mr. Dash and Mr. May as well, as he's got a half track on Welsh.
He absolutely is Mr. May. He's been getting it done in this month. Rain, shine, Rona, whatever, riots, yellow's out for five to go. Mr. May has gotten it done.
Let's see if Adam Welsh can do something with Melton, as he took the top as well. He saw it work, and he's going to give it a shot as we go green with 5 to go.
Those two out to a big lead themselves. Can Adam Welsh put the slider on him? Goes down. Magic Mike Melton pinches him down as he needs to, but Adam Welsh is not giving up. Can he throw it to him? He gives him a bumper. Can't get it done yet.
Right side Nerf bar destroyer, Adam Welsh, the good kitty, looking bad right now as he's trying to take the lead.
This is good racing up front, Bob. Ghostface Brewing's getting a hell of a value for their advertising package tonight as we go back to the inside, 49 back to P1.
Magic Mike cuts him back off. Gets underneath. Big shove by the good kitty. He does not care. He's being bad tonight. But that killed his momentum, Bob, and it put it back there, and he doesn't have the downforce to get it done with 2 to go.
Yeah, 2 to go for Adam Welsh, who had a shot at it there towards the end, and it just didn't work out for him. Mike Melton taking the lead here, and he is going to take the white flag.
I feel bad for the good kitty. He needed to get that clean air out front if he was going to take off, but just giving it one last lap here. 2 more corners for Magic Mike Melton to get it done. He's called Mr. May for a reason. He takes the win in the ARCA Series.
Goodies Dash Series win. Backmarkham finished third, so maybe I can't call him Backmarkham anymore. Let's go down and talk to our winner. The good kitty. That's such a funny fucking name. Adam Welsh down here in victory lane for the Goodies Dash Series. When you get it through the tech shed, Mike Melton failed fuel. But how was it there out there from the seat? I mean, Mike kind of walked on everybody, but you get the win anyway.
Yeah, Mike checked out. I mean, I can't lie. We were running around in the trailer. I'd changed motors before the race. Maybe had a oil fill cap come off in qualifying and ran it in the Hooters Cup race, and it wasn't doing well. So we changed motors, and I feel like we had a strong piece. I took it off the wife's cart. I mean, I know she has good shit for some reason. I don't know why, but so and it was a good race. I mean, me and Mike battled it out there at the end, and he walked our ass. So kudos to him. He's got something figured out, but. We got to go back to work on everything, I think.
Dash Series win here for Adam Welsh. He's going to take home the beer and the trophy tonight.
Big day today, race day. I'm very excited to see what these race car judges have to say about all the improvements and modifications I made on this vehicle. Let's check it out. Look at this, Tiny. I want to show you something. Come here. These are all my nitroses. Check this. In the back, there's actually a crisper. It's just like a feather thing that's just supposed to, like, keep nightmares away. Little official guy, come here. So this joystick is actually from a real MiG, an enemy MiG. It does all sorts of stuff, missile locks, smoke screen. You guys can just kneel down. I want you guys to look at this thing real quick.
There you go.
What? Money shot.
Got in there, mouse.
There's a black flag in your future, buddy.
Well, we could put a black flag on here if you want to. I'm not sure where we'd mount it.
No. You can't drive this car.
After all this work we put into it, the creativity, my mom airbrushing my face with dragon wings in the hood, we're not going to be able to race this today.
Carroll Tractor and Trailer Repair Busch Series starting lineup. Robert Showalter on the Tar Heel Race Supplies pole with the Redhead Redemption. Caleb Kennard on the outside pole.
Nigel Standish and Christian Moody make up row number 2.
Row 3's Randall Beck, our previous winner, and Ronnie Carroll in 26X.
Scott Zarowski driving for Johnny Oliverio in the next row with Adam Wilcox.
Dylan Teasme and Robbie Bates make up row number 7.
Row 8's Brianna Lyons and Curtis Beeson in the 5.
Here is the Busch Series Carroll Tractor and Trailer Repair Series 390. It's the same thing as ARCA, except these guys, if you win the ARCA championship, you can't run it anymore. So these are, your regular go-kart dudes out here to have fun tonight. And our front row, Showalter and Clenard, are definitely two of the best in this series, for sure. And Christian Moody is back. I'm glad to have Christian Moody back. We talked to him earlier. Ran the 100-lapper, ran really well, and I'm just glad that he's back in the series here tonight.
Christian Moody had a big run at the World 100. Couldn't quite get it done. Here they are coming to the green, firing off. Robbie Showalter, Rain Man, getting it done on Red Dead Redemption. He takes the early lead going into 1 and 2.
Nigel the Pistol Standish out there getting shuffled back to the back of the field. He's going to settle into about 6th or 7th. That was last year's ARCA champion.
Standish is always sneaky quick. He doesn't get a lot of wins. By the end of the race, you look at the running order, 2-3 laps to go, he's right there in the top 5 usually. So I'm going to keep my eye on him, even though he's fallen back a little bit, as Moody's got some competition there for that spot.
You know who I want to talk about is Nigel Standish. How about Nigel Standish in that 9 cart?
He's great, Bob. The teams have put in a lot of work behind him. He's got a great crew chief calling the shots back at the trailer, and he's just an all-around fan favorite here at the track.
He's done a good job going from in Cup. I've really been surprised at him running as well as he has.
Just really, really impressed with Nigel Standish and what he has to offer that team. He brings his teammates up. He works hard. He's got a bad attitude, does bad impersonations, does bad interviews. I mean, he's just really an asset to that team.
Here it is. And he's starting to go towards the back a little bit here, but Showalter is absolutely destroying this field. And our ARCA winner is 3rd right now, so that shows you where the driving talent goes, as he's going to head to 4th.
The Rain Man's getting it done here on a wet night after a heavy rainstorm. I mean, he knows how to get around this track consistently up front. Bob, I think all I can attest it to is he cannot wait to get out of that cart. Those Wranglers he's got on feel like 20 grit sandpaper.
Yes, the Rustlers that are $5 at Walmart, they're great jeans, but you got to wear them for at least 20 years to break them in. Watching this battle here, Scott Zarowski in that Johnny O42 battling Caleb Clenard and Randall Beck, as they are all gooch to gooch here as they head down into 3 and 4.
I need another cocktail so I can fucking see straight. This camera's killing me.
I'm surprised Clenard's not up there challenging for the lead right now. I wonder if he's got his tires a little too heavy and he's lacking a little bit of roll speed in this wet racetrack. I wonder if maybe he shouldn't have gone so aggressive. But we'll see as Bob Showalter is out there checking out, putting a whooping on the field.
It's a completely different driving style from these tires to the Cup Series or treaded tires, and no matter what, Showalter is always at the front of that field. That's a testament to how he can drive, and he does a very good job.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are only seeing the track for the very first time in this feature. Robbie Showalter, he's already got 300 laps this weekend. That's got to be an advantage.
Shout out to Adam Wilcox, running decent here tonight. And not a name we usually call out all that often, but he's doing very well here tonight.
I've never heard of the guy before, Bob.
There you go. There you go. JZ, this tire prep's more in the neck of your woods, and
I mean, I saw when it rained, these guys were wiping tires left and right. What do you think they were putting on?
Well, there is always a heavy wet track prep that if you're any good at this shit, you keep it in the back of your trailer. And you wipe it on the tire, you bring out your blowtorch, and you burn that shit into the tire. Drops at 25 points in just a couple of wipes, but once it drops, that tire is stuck like that. It does not bounce back. So if you're going to guess and use it as you come to our 5 to go caution, you better guess right. And I'm wondering if some of these guys guess totally wrong.
Ronnie Carroll not having a good night. Christian Moody not having a good night. Standish not having a good night as we go green with 5 laps to go. So, I mean, it's a tough call. I don't know if they did that or not, and the front guys did as they head down into 1.
Rainman had a Creo Lives Matter sticker on the side of his trailer when I was walking through the pits earlier. I'm wondering if he whipped that out tonight or if he went with the bubble gum, chewing gum, winter green.
I don't know. He napalmed the shit out of him, I'm sure, as we're watching Clenard run down here in 2, 3, and 4. Can Randall Beckett's teammate make the move on him?
It's good. It's good racing here. Wet, sloppy track. Everyone's trying to get to the front. People are fighting for that sloppy bottom, and they're putting on a hell of a show here for Carroll Tractor and Trailer Repair ARCA or Busch Series.
Yes.
You don't have to.
2
get
to
the
go.
series, right?
You all right, Bill? Or did you have a pack of Winstons
No,
before we started?
Got some Rona. The battle is for second, third, and fourth. Rayman is absolutely checked out. One more circuit left for him. He looks to be easily taking home. The battle here is for third place between Red Dead Redemption and some other fucking guy. Rainman takes the checkered flag. He gets the win here in the Carroll Trucking Busch Company race.
All right. Robert Showalter down here in Victory Lane for the DNQ Carroll Tractor and Trailer Repair Busch Series race. And I tell you what, you just keep dominating this series. Won championship last year, and it pretty much was a no contest here tonight.
Yeah, I'm so screwed in the points. I think though the last 2, the 100 I finished last, and then AR was really bad for me. So we're just gonna lick our wounds and then get back to it. So that rain came, and I was kind of scratching my head on what tires to put on, and had the set I used in practice, and I had a brand new set that felt really good. So I was like, screw it, I might as well just take a chance and put them on there. And man, that sumbitch had so much bite, and it wasn't bound up. It was pretty good. They said I walked them pretty good there. So
yeah, you kicked their ass. It wasn't even close. Robert Showalter, another DNQ Busch Series win here tonight.
Thanks, guys. Down here in the garage area, I've caught up with Dewey Ryder. Dewey, let's just get right to it, man. Terrible performance today. How would you assess how today went?
Well, I mean, it's building blocks, you know. Every great journey starts with, like, you know, one press of the gas pedal. You know, grease wasn't built in a day, so.
Some people will say today was a comeuppance for you. Thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are that, like, you media nerds don't really know what it's like to compete at this level. There with your hair mousse, trying to topple legends. You know, if I were to sum it up, that, you know, is kind of what I think.
So Junior won here. What was his advice to you getting in the car today?
Don't do it. You're not cut out for this. You're making a joke of everything.
Point blank, will this be your last race?
Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Maybe at the next race, there'll just be a dark figure that emerges from the crowd and then comes blazing down the car. And everyone's like, who's that? And you'll be like, oh, that's Dewey Ryder, he's back. Or maybe that won't happen, and then you'll not know what I'm up to.
Dewey's got to go. We're done with you.
Ghostface Brewing Cup Series starting lineup. Starting on the pole, driving the number 45, the Iron Station sensation, Nick Stroop. Starting in the Garage Shop Trip Olympic, it's the number 112 of Iron Mike Rod.
Starting third in the Finish Line Wash Pros Trick Olympic, it's the Mooresville Outlaw, Ronnie Shirt. Starting fourth in the number 9 Elite Master Contractors PRC machine, it's the Pistol Nigel Standish.
CJ Warlord Winslow brings his C4 fabrication-sponsored PRC Triton to the race tonight. He'll be followed in the 6th spot by the Red Rocket Eric Riggins Jr. He's sponsored by Truly Hard Seltzer on a platinum chassis.
In the next row, it's another PRC sponsored by My Pockets, and it's Robert Rainman Showalter. Starting 8th in the R2 Designs Phantom, it is Reckless Ryan Richmond.
Starting ninth is the 9743 fan support group PRC machine of David Georgia Peaches Crops. In the Julie Markham Special Lysol PRC machine, it's number 20 of Curtis Father Time Markham.
The Hitman, Jimmy Allen Jr., rolling off in the 11th spot. The sign-posting number 55X, the Bus Stephen Broy.
And rolling off 13th in the RCI Construction Group Chad Busch Ultramax Revival, it is Dean Buzzsaw Busch. Rolling off 14 in the 222, it's the Asberries Lives Matter PRC of Jason Asberries.
We've made it to the B Main Bandits. Number 72, the Iceman, LJ McCleary. Number 08, Nasty Newman.
Ultramax Exceed, the number 19, Craig Crossthread Smith. The last transfer from the B Main, driven by the good kitty, Adam Welch.
The Ghostface in-cart cameras tonight is Filthy Mechanic, LJ McCleary, the Iceman, has an in-cart camera tonight. And it is Jimmy Allen Jr. with our other in-cart camera. Here is the information for the Cup Series. 410 clones. Here's the tires, mid-tread depth, no tire prep. As we go green, Iron Mike on the front row with the Iron Station Sensation. Nick Strube as they head down into one.
They get it done. They're side by side, door to door. Can they make it stick? The top is not working, Bob. We saw the top dominate all night long. It looks like the bottom is the preferred lane right now as they line up right through the middle, Donnie shot style. Can't decide if you want to hit it from behind or be missionary.
I'll tell you what, the top is rolling back in here a little bit off of 1 and 2, and I want to talk about Nigel Stanish. He's looking good, but I got to say, as we're starting guys hitting the cushion off of turn number 4, we're starting to see some setup guys like, I think Shirk and Mike Rott, when it's wet, they're really fast, and then other guys, when it's dry, they're really fast too.
Riggins back to the top. He's high, wide, and handsome, trying to make a run and cut his way through this Cup field as we're 3 and 4 wide back through the field.
The good kitty got ran in the fence there, Bill, off of the turn number 4, but right now it's all Iron Mike. He is hauling ass as the caution is out, and the good kitty is stopped off of 1 and 2.
Yeah, not a good night for him. He's already run some laps tonight, and I just can't seem to get it together. They're lined back up. He had a hairball. They're lined back up 2 by 2. Iron Mike out to a big lead again. Great start. The battle is for second. They're door to door. The Mooresville Outlaw, Ronnie Shirk, putting it to Iron Mike Rock.
Red Rocket heading towards the top. Reckless Ryan Richmond there as well as the rest of the field shouts down into 1. I'll tell you what, I love this Cup Series racing. It is amazing.
You can really feel the speed, Bob.
These treaded tires make a huge difference in the show as Shirk looks to the bottom. Someone's high, wide, and handsome at the top, knocking the right rear off the go-kart.
Robert Showalter. The Rain Man, Robert Showalter, went to the top. He got stuck in the mud up there as the Iron Station Sensation rides the middle here. And we may see some sliders here tonight as we see the good kitty starting to make his way to the front. Let's go on board with Jimmy Allen Jr. He is running the top, high, wide, and handsome.
The Hitman right up there on the wall trying to make shit happen as he grabs the tear off down the backstretch. He's up there on the cushion selling T-shirts. He knows he's not going to be able to get it done tonight, so he might as well make some bank at the souvenir shop.
Some of these guys are trying to find the bottom here, and they're being a bottom bitch and making some headway, but those guys selling T-shirts, that's what the fans want to see here this evening, Bob.
Yeah, you want to see them straight goose stepping off of the corners here, and that's what Riggins is starting to do. And I'll tell you what, this is such good racing. Look at these guys out here, multiple grooves, and you got to say this is a great series to watch race. Is that Nasty Newman up towards the front of the field already? He was a B-Main bandit tonight.
Nasty Newman got that shit figured out in the B-Main, and he's made his way all the way up to the 6th position from 20th. That's your big mover of the night so far. Halfway, the high mover gets $100 from Gatorade.
Looking at Reckless Ryan Richmond right there with the Red Rocket and the Iron Station Sensation. And Ryan Richmond has done so well since we changed the tires in this Cup Series. He's been a journeyman here in the DNQ Series, and glad to see him running towards the front.
Yeah, he's really trying to find his home, and the Cup Series here, he's a little bit reckless. That's why we call him that. But he's making his way to the front. He's having a good night tonight.
Riggins getting pressured from behind by the 45 there. There's a good race between the 45 and the 54. I can't remember everyone's fucking name. I'm sorry. Sounds terrible. Just forget it.
Deal, man. I mean, this is DNQ right here. Look at this field, man. We've got racing all over the racetrack, high lines, low lines, and that's what this Ghostface Brewing Cup Series is about. As we have an issue for Robert Showalter, and he is slowed on the backstretch. It's probably going to bring out a caution, and there it is for Showalter having an issue.
It looks like the left rear bumper is pushed up against the left rear tire. I don't know if that's causing him to slow down or not, but we're getting ready to go back to green here.
Is Mike Rock going to be able to just check out again as we go back green?
Jay-Z, it sounds like if your left rear bumper got pushed into your left rear tire, you were slow enough already.
I got to say, I am so impressed with Nasty Newman here. And Nigel Standish to the front.
Nigel Standish, the battle is for 8th. Nigel Standish, such an asset to that team.
You know,
Man, look at this back here. Look at Asbury's. I mean, this is out of control.
You know,
and the good kitty making his march to the front.
This 3-wide racing is incredible. This is putting butts in the seats. And I know there's other touring series out there, like maybe some of the Pro Cup series, maybe some of the lesser late model tours, are watching what's happening right here in DNQ, and they're taking notes, Bob.
Yeah, and we're a little strung out towards the front, but I got to say, like, the middle guys here, this is where the meat is. Look at that. That's the meat of the sandwich. Guys running 3 wide.
Jay-Z, what I want to point out, none of these guys got any practice, and they only got 3 guys per car number here. So they're working on a limited crew, just enough to get through tech and make it to the feature. These guys got no practice. Their first laps on the track is this feature. What does that mean for the middle of the pack guys that don't have the engineering resources as the Showalters, as the Iron Station Sensation?
Well, I think it gives them more of a chance. They might not have 15 engineers banging on computers, but no one else does here either. So that levels the playing field. But I think what you're seeing here tonight, Bill, is the talent, that cream, those Chase Elliott's are really rising to the stop and putting their mark on it, as Mike Rott's got a challenge down the inside.
Chase Elliott to the inside of Mike Rott, absolutely getting it done tonight. He's moved his way from 9th all the way up to 8th in this feature.
And it's crazy that we're sending people home. I mean, we sent like 5 carts home from this race here tonight. We're having B mains in the Cup Series, and that is, you know, it's tough to make the show, and that's why we talked to David Crops. He's doing such a good job by himself. Let me mention here, Robert Showalter had an issue. He's driving that car with his right hand right now on the throttle. One hand in that thing.
That's some old school shit right there. The testicular fortitude this takes is something we'll talk about for weeks to come.
Field getting strung out just a little bit, and then we got some hot farts at the top side towards the middle of the pack as Asbury's and Nasty Newman are up there towards the middle of the field, and the caution is out. And Mike Rott is wearing these guys out. We only have a few laps to go. Let's see how this restart plays out.
Nasty Newman from the B main has made his way all the way to the front. I was talking to his old man at Darlington one year, and he called his side bitch the B main.
Here we go. We are back green. Riggins runs Rott down in the field there a little bit. Big run from the good kitty. As he runs down, Riggins throws a slider.
Riggins, that's not a slider. He just doored him.
He's going to take the lead.
It wasn't even good enough to be a dirty slider. The good kitty with a big push.
It's 3 wide for 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Inside Mike Rott, he gets past the Red Rocket. He takes P1 back.
Iron Mike is not afraid to use that bumper. You just wait. He's coming back. This race might be his before the end of it.
He is leading right now. You've got Riggins. Richmond puts Welsh towards the wall there, and we only have a few laps to go. Welsh gets into the backside.
The bad kitty.
Yeah, there's the bad kitty.
He sees that 2 to go, and the fangs come out.
He threw some catnip out there, and he got some of it. White flag is out. He is going to hate us. White flag is out in this race.
He's made his way to the top 5, Bob. He's out there fighting for a good finishing spot to lose the ground early. Mike Rott comes around. He takes the win.
What a feature. Let's go down and talk to whoever the hell we want to talk to.
Nigel Standish.
Well, Mike Rod is down here in Victory Lane. Ghostface Brewing Victory Lane here tonight. Go ahead. Celebrating his win. Second win for Team Reaper. First win for Mike Rod. Mike, we talked to you last race about when are you finally going to break through and win one of these things, and tonight was the night.
It was. Tonight was my night. The weather played in my favor for some reason. I always run good when it's wet and rough. It's kind of like sex, I guess. I like it both the same way, wet and rough.
All right. Sorry for the people at home. But I'll tell you what, Riggins got to the bottom there on that 5 to go, and I thought, oh, no, here we go. He's going to lose this race. But, I mean, it ended up being you got back to him and passed him.
Yeah, he did a great job of trying to get me out of my rhythm. I almost screwed myself going into one because I knew he was going to try to do 8 tires versus 4, so I jabbed the brake and let him swoop up, and I about killed myself. But that thing was hooked up so bad, I'm out of the gas, and on that high side, it just went. So I did the same thing to him going into 1 and 3.
These guys racing in this series do such a good job at not wrecking. I mean, so many guys can run side by side. You know, that they do a good job.
They do.
And I mean, this race was very good, and that's a testament to you guys.
That's one of the reasons why I got out of Predator and went to Clone, because you can actually race in Clone. People try to race you. They're not there just to wreck you and just go on, you know. It's so much better racing.
You have anybody to thank for this win here?
I have my buddy Ronnie Shirk, Team Reaper. I got John Kinder, my son Tyler, Caleb Mossberg, my wife, for putting up and letting me do this. So this is great. It feels good to finally bring this home in Victory Lane after having so much bad luck this year.
2 Cup Series wins for Team Reaper. Mike Rod victorious here tonight. Oh. He's got to grab it truly. Second place finisher tonight in the Ghostface Brewing Cup Series, Eric Riggins. You got your Trulies going on here. You got a victory tonight. You have a second place. I thought you may get the win there with 5 to go.
Yeah, I threw a bit of a Hail Mary. Luckily, I mean, I made it stick, but he was just so much better than we were. Luckily, he was a good sport about it because I kind of junked him, but I mean, I did what I had to do. I tried to go for the win and put my truly platinum diamond chassis in Victory Lane. It just didn't happen to fall in my line there at the end. So
you guys were flying around this racetrack tonight. That's probably the fastest I've ever seen anybody here tonight. But I was telling everyone, everybody did a good job of not completely destroying everyone during this race, and it seems like the speed has really created a respect between the drivers.
Yeah, and it makes it a little bit more respect when you widen out the groove and you try to run the top and bottom and all that. It gives everybody a little bit more room to, run in a different groove and try to make something happen. So that definitely plays a factor. I would have loved to see what would have happened in our race, like before it rained, when it was wide enough that you could actually, dive to the bottom and actually slide somebody. So I'll be excited for the next high side night.
Eric Riggins, second place here tonight. And we're back here with the third place finish from tonight's Cup race, Adam Welsh. We just talked to you for a win. We're going to talk to you again real quick, but how was that Cup race out there?
It takes a dumb son of a bitch to go out there and do that. Like, the whole time as I'm ripping the top and, like, getting put in the front stretch wall, like, I'm thinking why I build race cars with cages, because that's out of hand. It's so much fun. Like, you can't knock it, I tell you that, because we went from B main, last transfer car to finishing third. So, I mean, we salvaged a terrible night, so I'm happy with it.
Yeah, some of the guys said the racing's a little out of control out there. You guys are flying through this racetrack here tonight. It was so fast, but I got to say, some of that danger helps people respect each other when they race a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I looked over my right side shoulder 50 times during that race I didn't want to put nobody in the fence. I was getting pretty pissed about getting put in the fence, so I didn't want to be that guy. And I think Turbo's mad at me. He put me in the fence 3 laps in a row, so I packed it under him and was what it was. And I understand he's mad, but I made sure I kept him straight and I didn't wreck him, so it is what it is, man.
Adam Welsh, third place finisher tonight. It is what it is. An ice cold Busch down here for Ryan Richmond. Ryan, I don't know where you finished. I think you were running top 5. You were running top 5. Got into it with Adam Welsh. What happened there at the end of that race?
Man, the thing it hooked so good through the middle. Luckily we got away from the high side, hooked through the middle, and it just, them guys, they'd keep going up top. I'd just run right through the middle, and I'd kind of leave half a lane, but kind of not, because I was afraid of the crossover, and just apparently he thinks I run him in the fence. Obviously not, or else he would have hooked me the way he drives, so. But after the race, I just voiced my displeasure. He could have wrecked the entire field, which we don't want to do. Nobody wants to come out here and tear stuff up. So if you're going to drive like an ass clown, you're going to get it after the race a little bit.
This racing is extremely good to watch. I mean, what's it like from the driver's seat?
It's wild. that's the only way to explain it. You have to drive the shit out of it for 30 laps, and you let up 1 second, and then they'll put you in the wall, and that's what it happens. And you got good days, bad days. Last week we did not run very good at all. Tonight we ran good, just didn't get the finish we deserved, and it happens sometimes. So, but as a whole, this is it's a great package, and I'm excited to come back in a couple weeks, and we'll do it all again.
Ryan Richmond had a good run going. He's going to finish 17th.
We'll see.
All right, quick look at results here tonight. Randall Beck takes his first win.
George Beeson, Woody Wilcox, and Nick Stroop are your top 4.
Here's Carroll Tractor Trailer Busch Series. Showalter takes the win there. Goodies Dash, Adam Welsh wins. Got a couple fails through tech. You got to get your shit right if you're going to run DNQ.
You know, some of these guys try to run up front, Bob, and they look good doing it, but at the end of the day, they have less credibility than Dr. Fauci after a press conference. You know what I mean? It just takes everything away.
Riggins is winner in tonight's Filthy Mechanic Pro Cup Series feature as well. And this is the one we just watched. Really good race.
Mike Rott taking home the win. Riggins coming home second. The good kitty from the B main comes home third. And, shit, sorry. What do we call a fucking Showalter? Rain Man Showalter working the throttle with his hand. Comes home fourth. What a show by Showalter.
Mooresville Outlaw Ronnie Shirk, Ass Berries, the Reckless One Ryan Richmond. The Bus, Stephen Broy with a good top 10 finish. Iron Station Sensation Nick Stroop did very well. And I do not know what we call CJ Winslow. I'm going to have to look that up real quick.
Warlord CJ Winslow.
The Warlord CJ Winslow comes home with a top 10 finish. Well, guys, what a race we just saw here. I mean, all the racing was good, but that Cup Series feature was so good.
We had guys 3 wide all through the field, and we had people from the B main make it to the top 10. Hell of a show tonight.
Yeah, I mean, to think how drunk half those guys were after that rain delay, that was a hell of a drive by most of those guys.
Yeah, it's a great job, and I want to thank you guys for being a part of this DNQ event again. And we look forward to the next one, and our next race will be Filthy Mechanic Night at the Millbridge Speedway. Thank you very much to Millbridge for getting the racetrack ready after all that rain, and thanks for everybody for sticking it out and having a great show. For Jay-Z and Bill Chester, I'm Bob Duato. We'll see you guys at our next race.
Beautiful.
That was good.